The freshly fallen snow crunched under Lauren's tires as she pulled up to her parents' house. The twinkling Christmas lights in the windows blurring through her joyful tears. This was the year, she'd told herself. The year the distance would finally melt away. She'd bought thoughtful gifts, baked her grandmother's famous shortbread, and worn the red sweater her mother had once said she liked. But the door didn't swing open to warmth and laughter. It opened just a crack, and her sister, Jessica, stood in the gap. Her face a mask of cold triumph. "What are you doing here, Lauren?" Jessica's voice was a low, venomous whisper. It's Christmas," Lauren stammered, her heart beginning to stutter. "I'm here for dinner." A cruel, thin smile played on Jessica's lips. "No, you're not. No one wants you here. We're all tired of your drama. Just go." The words were a physical blow, stealing the air from her lungs. She could hear the familiar sounds of her family, her aunts, uncles, cousins, laughing and celebrating inside. A collective rejection. They had all agreed. Numb, her vision swimming, Lauren stumbled back to her car and drove away, the carefully wrapped gifts in the backseat feeling like artifacts from a life that was never hers. She was 5 miles down the slushy road when her phone rang. Her father, David. She let it go to voicemail, unable to speak through her sobs. It rang again and again. Finally, she answered. "Lauren, where are you?" His voice was frantic, edged with panic. "We've been waiting. Your mother is worried sick." The confusion was a dizzying whirlpool. "Waiting, but," Jessica said. "She said no one wanted me. She told me to leave." The silence on the other end was deafening. Then, a low, gut-punched curse. "She told us you called, that you said you were spending the holiday with friends from work, that you couldn't be bothered with family this year." In that single, horrifying moment, a lifetime of puzzles snapped into place. The missed invitations she'd never received. The family gatherings she'd heard about only after the fact. The constant, subtle narrative that painted her as the flaky, difficult, distant daughter. It had all been Jessica, a long, calculated campaign of emotional sabotage. A strange, cold calm settled over Lauren's grief. "Turn around," her father pleaded. "Please." "I am," Lauren said, her voice steady now. "But I need to make a stop first." She drove to her apartment, her hands steady on the wheel. She went straight to her filing cabinet and pulled out a folder she'd secretly labeled "For My Sanity." Inside was a chronology of saved evidence. Text messages from Jessica subtly poisoning the well. Voicemails from her mother asking why she'd declined invitations she'd never gotten. And the piece de resistance, a digital file from her doorbell camera, which had silently recorded the entire exchange at the doorstep, dodged with the truth. She turned her car around and drove back to the house she had fled. She didn't knock this time. She walked right in. The festive chaos hit her, the smell of roast turkey, the clinking of glasses, her cousin playing piano. The room fell silent as she appeared in the doorway. "Lauren," her mother cried, rushing forward. "We thought you weren't coming." "Jessica told me I wasn't welcome," Lauren stated, her voice clear and carrying. She held up her phone. "And I have proof." She didn't shout. She didn't accuse. She simply played the audio. Her own hopeful voice. "I'm here for dinner." And Jessica's icy reply, crystal clear for the entire gathered family to hear. Asterisk, "No, you're not. No one wants you here. Just go." Asterisk, the silence that followed was more profound than any Christmas carol. All eyes turned to Jessica, whose face had gone from smug to ashen. The narrative she had so carefully constructed over years shattered in the space of 30 seconds. Their father, David, looked from Lauren's resolute face to Jessica's guilty one, his own expression a storm of horror and remorse. "All these years," he whispered. Then his voice strengthened, filled with a fury born of betrayal. "Jessica, get out of my house. Now." There was no argument. The family, stunned and ashamed, watched her go. The holiday was salvaged, but it was different. It was the beginning of a new reality. In the days that followed, a new family group chat was created, the Truthful Bunch. Her cousin had named it, with Jessica conspicuously absent. Apologies poured in, not just for that day, but for a lifetime of blindness. They had failed to see the manipulation, and in doing so, had become its instruments. Lauren, for the first time, felt truly seen. She was no longer the character in Jessica's story. She was the author of her own. She began hosting her own gatherings, and her family came, not out of obligation, but with a new, genuine appreciation for the woman they had almost lost. The peace she found wasn't just the absence of conflict. It was the powerful, quiet empowerment of a truth, long held in silence, finally set free.